Aubrey, hello.
Hi,
Who are you playing tonight?
I am playing Verity Nyx, half-elf paladin of Selûne.
Eric, who are you playing?
I am playing Mike Handel. He's a kobold wizard who thinks he's a dragon.
Kyrene, who are you playing?
I am playing Hot Firefire's husband. No, I'm playing Kyrie.
Okay.
I really need to change my nickname on this.
Because we could just play with Aubrey and Eric. I wouldn't mind.
Oh! You know what? I'm going to keep the nickname. I was going to change it.
You've seen the posters. You've heard the murmurs and the talk. There is a carnival that's come to town in the dead of winter, and there's like a foot of snow on the ground. But up north of Torrington in the big field, there's a lot going on. Are any of you going there?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll shimmy my way through the snow because I'm so short.
You get there and you see a lot of people mingling about, and you hear more murmurs about like, why are they having this carnival in the dead of winter? Like people tromping through the snow, and they're all bundled up and shivering, and they're all like, every single booth that is selling hot food and hot drinks has long lines, and there's not really any good place to sit. They've cleared off some benches and stuff, but mostly people are just standing around shivering like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this here? And what do you want to do? Why don't you roll to kick it off? Why don't you roll a perception?
Ooh, okay. Where did my D20 go? There it is.
Alright.
I got a 13.
A perception, you say, that is an 11 for Verity. Gotta get out the blue dice.
Well,
Verity and my candle, you're hanging out or out there too already?
yep. I'm trying to get a snow cone.
Okay.
Verity was just like outside doing her like paladin workout and caught notice.
Her paladin workout? What is that?
She was like jogging and doing like yoga and stuff outside because it's what she does.
Okay.
Verity, tell me your roll again.
11.
You are busy doing your workout, and Kyrene is taking in, trying to decide what she's going to do next. But Mike, you said you're waiting in line?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a snow cone.
While you're waiting in line, you have plenty of time to observe the people around you and just kind of look around this festival, and you notice that all the booths, the food, and the like win stuffed animal games are kind of it's just a big cluster in this open field where everything always takes place in Torrington. And then the odd thing is, instead of having like a designated zone for rides, even though their rides are a little bit low tech, but instead they've got them all in a long straight line. It's almost like a Wild West show where they've got the false front buildings on a long street. Instead of false front buildings, it's these like fun houses and stuff lined up with the backdrop behind them of the forest. And so it's like the hallway of fun houses, basically.
Oh no.
They have some rides and things, but they're not like what we have today, obviously. And actually, I think you also notice that some of these people running the carnival stuff are extra carny looking.
Interesting. I take mental note.
What kind of winds of animal games are there?
Pretty standard. There's test your strength, hit the bell. There's toss into the frogs in the pond. There's throw darts at the board. There's guns and spin the wheels and all sorts of stuff.
Can I play toss a dart?
Yeah. Yeah, why don't
Cool.
you... I'll say that there's a easy section, medium section, and a hard section. And the hard section has all the biggest stuffed animals.
I'll go for the hard one.
Okay. There's a dude that's pretty standard level of carny looking, and he's even smoking a cigar, and he says, step right up, try your luck, folks, here we go. We got the balloons, the dart, toss out the balloons, and if you hit 3 balloons, you win this prize. The red ones are the hardest, so try to get the red ones for the biggest prize. Step right up. How about you there? Wait, you said you're, is Kyrene a guy?
Carrie's a female.
Oh, female. You there, miss. Care to try your hand?
Sure, why not?
And in the background you hear doot, 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 doot. Why don't you... What are you going to go for? You've got... I'm going to say green, blue, and red. Green is
Definitely
easy.
go for the red.
Okay, so the hard balloons. All right.
Oh yeah. Gotta go big.
What do you want to roll?
Thanks, of course.
Like a, I guess that'd be just a ranged attack.
Yeah. I can't do acrobatics.
Okay, let me see.
It's only that because I have +8 to acrobatics.
Okay, yeah, you can. I'll let you do like a dexterity long range attack. So it's like dexterity and proficiency.
Excellent. I have a dart weapon, so that would be a +8.
Oh shit.
That's a nat 20 +8, so that'd be 28.
Okay. You hit 1 balloon. Roll again.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, shit. Well, I just dropped a dice. Fuck. That's an 18 on the dice. +8.
The
So
guy.
that is...
The guy's cigar kind of droops in his mouth, and he goes, "You're pretty good at this, kid."
Well, it's because I'm trained in this kind of stuff. I mean...
All right, well, this last one's gonna get pretty hard, and you see him hit a button, and you see the balloons start rotating around in circles like a shooting gallery.
Sir, are you cheating right now?
He shakes his head and takes a puff and says, "Can you do it? Let's see you do it. You can do it. Come on, you son of a bitch."
12 +8, that's dirty 20.
Oh man, I rolled an 18. You throw or shoot or whatever you're doing with this last dart, and the balloon pops, and you see the cigar fall out of his mouth, and his whole face just falls, and he goes, "You can have your choice of the stuffed animals over there." And he points to this huge... they're all hanging on hooks on the outside of... or like on the side of his building, and these things are massive. They're like probably... How big are you?
I'm 3'3".
They are probably a little bigger than you.
I am going to go for the biggest one.
Okay, what kind of animal do you pick?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay, give me a, let's see. Roll a d4.
Okay. 1.
Oh, okay. Then it's a reptile. You get a big old lizard.
Excellent. I love it.
It's an iguana.
Okay,
That
I'll
means
have
it
to
has
take
a. That
notes.
means it's got this long ass tail dragging behind you.
Cool.
Mike, you are finally second in line from the front. What are you gonna get?
I want a blue raspberry snow cone.
You know, it's the weirdest thing. You get up to the front of the line and you order that, and they open their little ice freezer, and you notice that it's completely full. Like no one has ordered that yet. They scoop some into a cone, and what color? What color? What flavor of color?
Blue.
You get blue flavored.
Like me. Hooray.
What do
I
you-
start looking at it happily and then looking at the games.
It's not freezing cold. It's just annoyingly cold. Like it's not comfortable. But it's not like stinging your skin cold or anything like that. What are you doing, Verity?
Are
Besides
there any like
pressing
arm
children.
wrestling competitions or strength-based games of any kind?
The bell is easy to find because you keep hearing stuff go conk, conk, and occasionally a ding. And if you were to wander around, I think you could find. They don't have the technology for an automated one, but you can probably find like some guy saying, "Who will take on this master of arm wrestling? Try your hand at his hand. Come on, folks, step right up." And you
She'll
see
do
this
it.
burly dude. And he's got a handlebar mustache, and he's bald, and he's wearing a tank top, and he doesn't even seem cold at all.
Damn.
She'll do it.
Let's see what I could do this here. Let's see how tired he is so far.
How easy will your competition be?
Okay, why don't you roll a contested strength check? And he is, what is Verity like? What's her build?
She's tall-ish, but she's built. She's like Brienne of Tarth, but a little bit shorter.
Okay. You can tell that this guy probably has a small pee-pee, and he is looking at you like
God damn it.
he's kind of
Fuck you, Brian.
he's kind of looking at you haughtily and scoffing, and he's just like, "Come on, really? Give me a real challenge." He puts his arm up on the counter for you, like this is gonna be a cakewalk, which is incidentally
I
the
got
MIDI
this.
program that I use.
Strength or athletics?
I'll let you choose.
Let's do athletics. Oh, that's gonna be a 25.
I rolled a 12 plus 5. So this guy puts up a bit of a competition, and it's hard to tell if he's actually tired out from everybody or what his deal is, but it's almost just a slow, progressive motion from when you first gripped his hand down to the table, and the closer that it gets, you see his brow starts to sweat, and he starts to get really nervous, like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, until finally, ding, and the announcer says, "Well, all right." He's looking very disappointed at his hired man.
I'm gonna say Karine is there cheering her on.
Okay. And so your prize is hold on a second.
Me and my iguana. There to cheer her on.
All right, so here's their selection. This guy is offering. He has a variety of different glow stick type things, like the necklaces and the bracelets and everything. and then he's got some stuffed animal, like Beanie Baby stuffed animals, and then he's got some action figures, and the last thing he has are crazy glasses.
She'll pick up one of the action figures.
Okay.
What are the options there?
You can have a superhero, a military guy, a cop, or a pirate. And they come in both male and female and all different races, like tieflings and dwarves. And
She will take a tiefling superhero and just like put it well, she's holding it because she's wearing workout clothes, so she'll just hold it.
Okay.
And she'll like look over and just kind of like touch the hired guy on the shoulder and go, "Don't worry, you're tired."
He kind of glares at you and kind of wipes his brow with a cloth and gets ready for the next person as you claim your prize.
Yep, turn and stride away.
Eric, what are you doing? Mike.
I think I'm walking along, looking at the different games, licking my snow cone, taking little nibbles of it, actually.
Okay. You see the games are, if you're walking towards town, you could see the games are on your right and the rides and stuff are on your left. And you see, I already described some of them, but any assortment of games. Do you have any games that might be interested? Because they probably would have it.
I think he's more looking at the prizes. He wants a little, he's trying to find a little dragon plushie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, that won't be a problem. Dragons are pretty popular, so you do find a place that has some, and it's a coin toss type thing. It's one of those. It's not a toss. It's one of those ones where you've got the frog on the pounder, and you launch it into one of the lily pad cups in the middle of the floaty pond.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
And so this place has a pretty big dragon for a plushie. It's like probably the size of it's probably like a 3-foot plushie.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want that.
Come on, come on. We've got these frogs for the pond. They like the water, and they go in the air and in the cup if you're good enough. I work here.
Oh my god. Wow.
He walks up to that guy and he just goes, I got no idea what you're talking about there, but I'm trying to win that little dragon plushie if you don't mind.
Oh, dragon plushie. Let me see here. He's kind of going through a sheet full of like all the prizes and what it takes to earn them. Like he does not have anything memorized. Like he was just a hired hand. And he looks down and he says, "Dragon. Okay, that will be the little cup in the middle. You get 3 tries."
I'm gonna push up the the sleeves on my robe. You said I'm trying to like whack this thing on, like, it's like on a seesaw, and I try and whack one side.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I am going to.
I'm gonna let you do. Why don't you do a strength and a dexterity? We'll do dexterity for aiming and strength for distance.
Okay. Is there like a hammer for it, or do I just like slap it?
You just pound it with your fist.
Okay. I take off my scarf and I wrap it around my hand. That's about right. Dex of 8, strength of 1.
Oh no.
It dex of 8, strength of 1. Yeah, not only does it not reach, it barely reaches the pool and kind of goes plunk, but it's also way off course, and you need to adjust. So with that, I'm going to give you +3 to both your rolls since you're now a little bit more experienced with this.
Okay.
Okay, you try again.
Strength. Oh, much better. Dex of 18, strength of 19.
Oh shit, okay. You make your calculations and adjustments and you've got like your tongue sticking out and you raise your fist and hit this thing and it goes way up into the air, right on course, and then it actually hits one of the plushies hanging from the ceiling and then that stops it right above the tea kettle and it drops right in and he just kind of looks at you dumbfounded, like he's almost wondering if that was cheating and maybe he should call you out on it, but then I mean it is in the rules. It doesn't say how you get in the cup, you just got to get it in the cup. So he shrugs and he unhooks this big dragon and hands it over the counter to you.
I take off my wizard hat and I put it on top of the plushie,
Aw.
and I squeeze it really tight as I walk along the rows, looking at games now, or at like the rides and stuff.
Okay. What are the girls doing?
I'm probably gonna. Carney's probably gonna go look at rides. Maybe
Okay.
the fun house.
That's probably what Verity will be doing too. So,
Are
safe
you-
to say they'll be together.
Okay, you two are hanging out now.
Yeah.
So some of the things you see are there's a spinny ride that takes you up in these kind of airplane looking things and spins you around. There's a spinny swing, like this classic swings. There's a really basic wooden roller coaster. And there's a number of different fun houses like Mirrors and Haunted House and Castle and Futuristic, which is for them not that futuristic, but you know, pirates. Maybe like a jungle, like Indiana Jones style.
What do you think?
I'm not super picky. I'd like to do something that we could ride together if that's okay with you.
Oh, it's totally fine. Roller coaster?
Sure.
All right. I guess we're gonna go to the roller coaster.
Mike, you see them heading that way. Are you just going to keep on your own path or are you going to meet up with them?
I think I'll get into the car right in front of them
Okay.
and like buckle my plushie in on the seat next to me.
Aw.
Oh,
You guys said
Oh, no,
you guys said roller coaster, right?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, what am I gonna do by iguana?
So this roller coaster does not have a train. It just has individual cars that go one right after the other. And when you get up to the line, you notice the ticket taker is probably one of the sketchiest. Like all the people operating the rides are sketchier even than the people in the games. And he's got like
shit.
dark coloring under his eyelids and his teeth are kind of looking unkempt and his hair is disheveled and his clothes kind of looks like a hobo. I would say a hobo. It kind of looks actually more like he just got off the boat and he hasn't shaved in a while. So he's taking these tickets and you notice that there's the few people in front of you, he's asking the same question over and over. He's like, unless they're clearly a pair, like there's two of them together, he's saying, "You riding alone? You riding alone?" And then he gets to you girls and he looks at both of you and he goes, "You come together?"
Yes.
Yes, we do. And just real quick, Verity will turn and just like lay a hand on Kyrene and cast Bless. You would run saving throws just in case.
Thank you.
Not advantage, but you get a +4
Awesome.
or a plus a D4.
He says, pick a, you no, actually he specifically says, you take red car. And he points.
Thank you.
Buckle
Thanks.
up.
I
Okay.
don't like you.
And then Mike shows up he's next in line and he says, "You riding alone? You here at festival by yourself?"
Obviously not. I've got me dragon with me. Can't you tell we're twins?
He looks at it up and down and he says, "You ride in black car." And he points to the black car. It's actually about 3 cars behind the girls. And it's odd because it kind of looked like he was directing everybody to the next car in line, except when he gets to you, he picks a car 3 spaces behind them. Buckle up.
I want to do an insight check so bad. I don't know if it's worth it.
I'm fighting from casting Zone of Truth and just straight up saying, "Are you gonna try and hurt us?" But I'm not going to.
I'm so that you're also thinking, like, is this man trying to kill us? Do I have to beat someone down?
Oh. Okay. I'm going to buckle up. It's only 1 seat, you said?
This particular car, this black one, is a 2-seater, but you're the only one going in it. Why don't you guys roll intel checks?
Intelligence. I'm not smart.
Me neither. That's a 4.
Oh,
You
I
say-
got a 6.
Did you?
10 on the dice, so 13?
Okay,
We're so
Not
smart.
hit me.
Kyrene and Verity, you cannot for the life of you figure out how these buckles are supposed to work. Like there's loops to go through and things
Oh,
to click
no.
together, and none of it seems to make any sense.
Oh dear.
Mike, you managed to figure it out because it almost looks like yours is it's almost just like you click it and you're done. Wasn't complicated at all.
Perfect.
Why do we have to have something so complicated?
And I think that you guys are trying to figure it out, and you maybe if you're going to ask the guy like, "What the fuck do we do?" If you look over, you notice that he's about to pull a lever.
Wait,
Excuse me, sir.
we're not buckled in?
Hold on, and he pulls the lever.
Can I shoot my dart, one of my darts at the lever to pull it back forward
You,
to like make it not go?
I think you would feel like it would, because he cranks this thing like he's got to use both hands and give it a
Ah,
nice.
damn it. Okay.
This roller coaster has its basic. It's like hills. There's no loop-de-loops or anything.
Okay.
You do notice at one point there's a tunnel dug under the ground and it goes down underneath the earth, like that's some brand new novelty. But other than that, it's just hills.
Okay.
When he cranks this thing, this kind of, what do you call it? Conveyor belt on the track starts moving and propelling your cars forward, and then you get to this hill, and your car, you feel the hook onto this thing, and it pulls you up. You probably go up about 50 feet, and then the first hill comes. Why don't you guys roll me Constitution checks?
Okay.
And Eric's 3 cars behind you.
17.
I think when he pulled the lever, the 3 cars in front of Eric, their track like adjusted to the side, so the cars are off the track, and so technically he's behind you now. 17.
Con save 10. And I have minor illusion cast on my plushie so that it's like roaring along with the ride.
Aww. I do have advantage against being frightened, by the way, in case that ever comes up.
Okay. What was yours, Verity?
16.
Tell me yours again, Mike. 11?
10.
10?
10.
Yikes. The girls go down the first hill, and you see them disappear over the top as you're kind of going chicka 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 behind them. And their cart, it goes down the first hill, and then it goes up the next hill, and then it curves around, and you can start to see it making this bend as you finally reach the tip top of this hill. And as you peer over the edge and start to go down, you immediately start to feel sick to your stomach as it lifts up towards your head. Like, unless you were maybe on the high seas or something, or maybe in a hot air balloon, I don't know. This is not a sensation that you would normally feel in this day and age. And why don't you guys roll perception checks?
Oh, God damn it. There it goes again.
Do any of you have dark vision?
No.
I do.
I do not.
I see.
7. Which makes sense because I can't see.
15.
That's going to be a 14.
You guys both go around this bend, and the girls go down underground through this tunnel, and it's just a rush of blackness for just a moment, and then you appear out the other side. Can you post your perceptions in the chat real quick?
Okay.
Because I can't even remember what they were. 16, 15, and 7. Eric, or Mike, you're so sick. You're so nauseated from the sensation of your stomach going up into your throat that you lose track of where the girls went. You just see them go down into the blackness, and then they're gone as far as you know. And you're next, and you go down into the blackness, and the next thing you know, well, you can see in the dark. So you suddenly see there's like this, in your tunnel, there's kind of a side tunnel, and your car immediately comes roaring by this thing, and you feel the weight of this. It's like a ejector seat, and it shoots you sideways, and you start sliding down this slide underground through this chute, and you're dragging after you. And then with your rolls, the girls, you both come out of here, and you notice that when you pop out and look behind you, you see an empty black car.
Wasn't Mike behind us?
Yes, he absolutely was behind us.
We need to get into that tunnel. There's something fishy going on here.
Mike, you're sliding down this slide, and you see it comes to a halt at the bottom of this kind of just dirt tunnel. It looks like it was dug out, and it's crude, and immediately when you get to the bottom, these two burly dudes jump out from either side of you, and they're going to attempt to get this rope around you and get you all tied up. What do you want to do? I'm giving you a chance to do something because you have dark vision, so you see it coming.
So Reginald keeps roaring at them, and it's shooting little, like, just visual, like, bolts of cold out of its mouth. I am going to
And that's all just
cast-
illusions, so it doesn't actually hurt him, right? It's just this...
Yeah, it's just like... It's like when you see a little baby dragon cough up a fireball, and it just, like, tumbles along the ground. It's like that, but it's a little icicle. I just have to check how this spell works.
While he's looking up spells, you girls come to a stop at your final place, and it was just a big loop, basically. And there's other people getting on in front of you, and there's an exit gate. So you don't have access to this guy again unless you either hop the fence or go back to the entrance.
I want to hop the fence so bad. Verity,
Yeah.
how do you feel about hopping the fence to get to that tunnel?
You read my mind.
Awesome. Let's do it.
The exit and the entrance are literally right next to each other. It's just that the fence is separating the internal so people know where to go. And so if you were to hop this fence, you would appear right behind this ticket taker.
I'm gonna stealth it, I think. Oh my gosh.
And as you're doing this, he's already pulling the lever and launching the next few carts. So there's like 2 people and then another 1 person. And you notice, actually, can you give me perceptions again real quick?
Yeah, 27 on stealth, by the way.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Do you want a new perception check or the?
You said 20 perception?
19.
19. Okay. You definitely notice that it's the same situation. This time the 2 people are in a green car, but the single person is in another black car. And this is a big dude too. He is probably he's probably 280 to 300 pounds.
Hmm.
The guy in the car, not the ticket taker.
So what you're saying is we could totally take out the ticket taker.
The ticket taker's just an average dude. He's just sketchy looking. He looks like a sailor kind of type of dude that he's kind of muscular, but he looks malnourished. You have no problem sneaking up on him with that stealth. What do you want to do?
I want to knock him out.
Okay.
Wait.
Do you want to check and see if anyone's around or looking, or you just want to go for it?
Wait, I'm getting told no by Verity.
Wait, let's try something a little different first.
Okay, fine. That's the alternative, Brian.
The car's the first car with the 2 girls, or 2 people. I didn't say girls. It's going over the first hill, and then you can see the conveyor belt's kind of struggling to get this last dude up there a little bit. He's getting closer to the top, though.
So Verity will. She just says, "All right, let's try to get into a black car, and
Okay.
we'll see where it goes." Because I'm reasonably confident in our ability to either fight or get out of whatever that is.
Okay. That's a lot better than what I had planned, but okay.
Are you just going to jump into a car, or are you going to go around again and actually do it officially?
Verity would say, "Let's do it officially," but
Yeah, let's be lawful about this. Follow the rules.
yes, exactly.
Um,
Pour flat and with vinegar.
I'm lawful neutral. God damn it.
you girls get to the the line again, and there's not a lot of people here, so you're able to go right in, and he says, "You 2 are together."
No, we're separate.
You can tell he already forgot who you are.
Excellent.
We're separate. And would you mind if I sat in the black car? I've got a particular fondness for black. She says, wearing like gray workout clothes.
I like the black card too.
He stares at you behind his furrowed brows, and he says, "You come to this festival alone, each of you? You have no friends or family here?"
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, you 2 each take black car.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm gonna silently flip him off as I go.
You girls get in the black cars. You notice first thing that the buckles just click right in, where unlike your complicated ones.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
And actually, why don't one of you, both of you, give me a high or a low.
Hi?
Low.
So Irene picked high.
Yes.
Irene, yours almost doesn't even click together. It's so loose. Like you click it and it slips out, and you click it and it slips out, and finally
no, I have a broken one.
you slam it together, and it finally sort of locks.
There's to me, it has a broken shit.
Mike, what are you doing in the hole?
Okay.
Brian, gross.
Oofa doofa.
What is my
With,
candle doing in the hole?
With Reginald spurting his little icy breath at these guys, I'm gonna go, "That's alright, good idea, Reggie." And I'm gonna cast Dragon's Breath on myself. And I basically get to use a breath weapon. So I blow out cold in a 15-foot cone, and they need to make dexterity saving throws.
That's an 18 and a 20.
Oh, that'll do it. So they'll take half damage.
Mm.
9, 10, 11. So they'll take 5 damage each.
5?
Yep.
They see you coming, and you see them coming out from either corner of this tunnel, and they've got ropes ready to bind you. But as soon as they see the image of this dragon, they hesitate just long enough for you to get this breath off, and they are high adrenaline guys. Like you can see that they've been doing this enough that they're ready, and so they're just able to dodge, and your flame kind of singes them. I think. Why don't you roll a perception real quick?
Yeah. 10.
You hear the tracks rattling up the tunnel behind you, up the slide behind you. Why don't you roll initiative?
Okay. 14? I think.
Okay.
Math?
The girls are getting pulled. He's already launched the lever, and you're getting pulled up the conveyor belt. And you see in front of you that this black car with the big dude is just starting to go down into the tunnel, and the two people in front of him have already descended. From inside, Mike, you hear the as one car goes by, and then the girls watch as this big dude descends into the tunnel. And Eric, you hear kind of a ka-chunk, and then you hear a oof. And I'm going to give
And
you...
an ouchie.
Yeah, kind of an ouchie oofy. What do you want to do? Your first initiative.
Oh. I'm letting out another breath attack on them then.
And you're still at the base of this slide?
Then
These two guys would be in front of you in the tunnel.
yeah, probably.
Okay. Breathe away.
It's a dex check for both of them.
It's a 4 and a 6.
Nope. They will take max damage of 18 cold damage.
Ooh. That's like extra than PP.
They both launch. After they dodge. I said singed. I meant whatever the cold word is for singed. Freezer burned. They dodge this first breath attack, and they start lunging towards you with the rope. Like, we got to bind this dude quick, and you have just enough time to let off another breath attack. And what is the outcome? What happens when you freeze these guys?
I think it looks like in The Incredibles when Frozone freezes the two cops in the beginning.
They're just okay. So they're just standing there with their arms outstretched with their rope ready to bind you, and they're just stuck like that. And the next thing you know is there's a loud behind you. Why don't you roll a dex save?
I'm good at that. Maybe. 15.
Okay. Let me see what happens here. You hear it, but you're so focused on these guys that you don't quite have enough time, and this bowling ball of a man just crashes into you at full force. And he does 7 bludgeoning damage as you get knocked onto this hard, frozen rock below.
I make sure to grab Reginald
Okay.
as I'm getting bowled over. That's my first thought.
Yeah, you're flattened by 300 pounds of man, and you also hear the tracks rattling again, but you'll have plenty of time to do something about it.
I can't remember what I have to roll for concentration.
I don't know.
Opponents.
Girls, you're coming up to the tunnel. What do you want to do?
How many cars away is
You guys were behind the fat boy. Who was in front? Irene or
Okay.
In my
think
head,
so.
I pictured Irene in front.
okay, yeah.
It's a Constitution saving throw for concentration.
I couldn't remember what I had to beat for it, but it looks like I had to beat a 10, and I did. Right.
Good job.
Okay. You can tell the cars are entering the tunnel just by the sound of it, and you can see the dark shadows of the light above you starting to... What do you want to do? Mike.
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I'm gonna try and struggle out from underneath this man.
Okay. And the chonky guy is starting to get up to his feet, too. It's just taking him a moment. He's got to heave himself up and probably put his hands on the walls to walk the front of his body up this wall.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get out from underneath him. And I'm like, oh, get off me, get off me!
Who the fuck am I? I think my car broke. Yeah, you get out from under and... Kyrene, you're entering the tunnel.
I'm going to ready myself.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to get ready for whatever's coming.
You're just bracing yourself for it, okay?
Brace myself at this point. Because I don't have dark vision, so I don't know what's coming.
Yeah, you have a feeling that whatever it is, you're not going to be in the cart anymore, so you're prepared to either get pulled or thrown or something. And sure enough, you get to where you can't see the side tunnel, but it's there, and the ejector seat launches you sideways as you pass by, and you find yourself sliding.
Can I do a flip to land on my feet so I can slide on my feet down?
Since you were expecting something, I'll give you that. Why don't you do a dex save, or you can do acrobatics if you want.
Acrobatics?
Yeah, go for it.
That's a dirty 20.
Damn, okay. Yeah, you're surfing down this slide. And it's coming up quick, Verity.
She will do the same thing. Just brace yourself.
The ejector seat launches, and you notice that these flimsy little seat belts, as soon as any weight is pressed against them, any pressure, they just come completely undone. And you're launched sideways.
Okay.
Mike, there's something coming down the slide, and you've got 2 frozen boys, and then you've got a chonky guy that obviously can't run out of the way in time.
I would like to run out of the way and cast Sleet Storm on the area behind me.
What's that do?
It makes the ground super icy.
You when you get deeper into this tunnel where the guards were, it opens up wider. So there's plenty of room for you to get to the side and get out of their path. And you're just gonna coat the floor with ice
Yeah, it makes it slick ice, making it difficult terrain.
for 40 feet.
It's a 40-foot radius, so 80 feet.
Okay. So, Kyrene,
Yes.
you didn't light anything, right, Mike? There's no light down here.
Oh no, I can see, so I don't care.
Yeah, Kyrene, you're just going sliding down this slide into the blackness, and the next thing you know, you hit a wall of fat, and it hits a couple obstacles, and you all topple to the ground and go sliding. I think the weight of this guy is
It's
gonna.
up 300 pounds.
I think he's gonna stop your momentum, but he's gonna
Okay.
he's gonna press the guards forward, and the weight of him is gonna carry them a ways into the tunnel. And then you hear sliding behind you. What are you doing, Verity?
She's got like her arms up around like her neck, and she's just looking. She's trying to see if she can see where Kyrene is.
Still no light source. The next thing you know, you crash into her, and I'm not gonna deal you guys any damage because you were expecting it, but you go sliding across this ice, and you are all in this open tunnel. You have no idea that Eric is down here. You just have to assume.
I'm gonna call Mike. Are you down here?
Oh, Kyrene. Yeah, I'm just past the ice rink. Weird how that was there, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that you did that. We're coming to you.
You guys hear, the floor is so cold.
It's okay, big guy. It'll be okay.
He's struggling to get up. He can't get up.
I am going to climb on top of him to get around.
Verity will walk over and try and help him up.
Okay. He's going to use you as a brace. If you can just stand still, he'll probably be able to like heave himself up. And then when he gets his feet underneath him, he's going to try very carefully to take one step at a time towards the wall so he has a way to brace himself.
Yep.
What the fuck happened? Where are we? I can't see anything.
We got launched. She and I did it on purpose to try and find him, but you got conned into it. We had nothing to do with it. Just telling you that right now.
Do any of you have a light?
I'm gonna light the torch.
Okay. You guys are able to see Mike now. You see two frozen guards on the floor. Up the tunnel, up the slide, you see where the track would be, and then further down the tunnel, it gets pretty dark down there. It's hard to make out. I would say in dim light, you can see a wall of cement, and it looks like a T shape, like there's a crossing tunnel, and you hear the faint sound of water. How are we going to get back up that slide?
I don't think we are. I think we have to keep going.
Where the fuck does tunnel go?
I don't know. We just got here.
He's like looking to you guys for answers or everything. I don't know if I want to walk all that way. I might just sit here and wait for help.
Okay, you can do that. Enjoy the cold floor.
Look at the floor. Well, look at me. All right, look at the floor. Do you see the people lying on the floor? They're dead. Do you want to just lay here and die?
Hold on, I need to roll it. Can you roll a deception?
Me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. It's a 15.
Oh, that's enough. Yeah.
Oh no.
You convince him that the 2 guards that he froze are actually dead, and that kind of freaks him out, and he doesn't want to hang around with dead bodies, so he says, all right, I'm going down the tunnel. And he's going to
Good.
hold
Come
on
on.
to the wall and try not to slip as he walks down this long corridor.
Verity will like reach out and like mom hold his hand. Like, you know how like she'll just like take his wrist.
Yeah, you're strong enough. You have no problem just keeping him stable.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
As the light illuminates the end of this corridor, you see that it's clearly leading into it's obviously the sewer. You've got the brick walls and you've got the water kind of trickling along through it. He says, gross.
Yeah, sewers are gross.
I don't want to wade through that. We'll have to find a way to the surface.
Well, you're gonna have to wade through it.
As you get closer, you see there are walkways on the side. It's a little sketchy. There's not a lot of room to walk, and he's a big dude, so he might end up wading through it, but I don't think you guys will have to.
Okay.
What's your plan? Are you going to try and just find the quickest exit?
I want to know where they're taking the other people.
Why don't you roll perceptions?
That's a 19.
21.
4.
Both of the I think Mike is kind of trailing behind. Both of the girls hear the kind of the rattle of wood, and it sounds like a cart rolling through the tunnel in the distance to your right. Not the tunnel, but the sewer tunnel.
I don't recall there ever being carts in a tunnel in the sewer. I think that might be something worth checking out.
Yeah.
You're just going to veer right and head towards the noise?
Yeah, Karine is.
I think
Yep.
the guy, once he gets to the sewer, he's just going to start trying to walk the pavement to the left, and he's going to be looking for an exit. So if you go right, it's the noise gets louder and louder. Is there anything you want to do to prep for this, or are you just going to waltz right up to it?
Verity's taking out a greatsword, and I just found a D4 in my pocket for no reason.
Excellent. I'm gonna pull out my J-hook B tool.
Mike is gonna cast Long Strider on himself.
Verity will take out a greatsword.
So you can go 10 extra feet.
Yep.
Nice.
So you go from trailing behind to suddenly you're up in front of the group. Are you gonna? What's your plan for this? Are you just gonna approach them?
Are there people up ahead?
So you have dark vision. You can see that the noise gets louder, and as you round a bend, you see this. So there's the little stream goes through the sewer down the center, and then there's like a sidewalk on either side of it. This cart is wide enough that it takes up the whole tunnel, and it has a wheel on either side of the river, taking up. So it's wheeling on both sidewalks, and then on both sidewalks in front of it, there's one of those big bat dogs that you guys encountered once, and
Oh, fuck.
both of the bat dogs are cinched up like horses to this cart. So they're pulling it through the sewer. And then there's a couple guys riding up on top like you ride a carriage.
Karine's gonna snuff up the torch.
Both of the guys are wearing robes too. Okay.
Wow.
You snuff the torch, and
Yep.
you hear it coming closer. Mike, you can see it clearly. What do you want to do? I think it's going to. Hold on.
Does the cart see us?
Yeah. One of the dogs stops, and that makes the other dog stop. And it's sniffing the air, and it senses something down the tunnel.
Oh shit. Guys, would you back up?
And you hear the guys mumbling something to the dogs, and they're like, "Oh, come on, get along, don't haul. What are you doing? Come on."
I'm going to cast Ray of Frost on one of the dogs.
Okay.
Pew pew.
Right or left dog.
I'm gonna say left dog.
Okay.
Does a 24 hit its armor class?
Absolutely.
So it's gonna take 5 cold damage, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Okay. This dog yelps, and that alerts the guards, and they jump off the cart, and they don't even care. They jump right into the sewage water stuff and start wading towards you, and one of them unhooks the left, or you said left dog. One of them unhooks the right dog, and the right dog starts charging down the tunnel, growling.
Does anyone have jerky?
It's always jerky with you guys.
Look, it worked last time, okay?
Oh, and just to be clear, the one Chris encountered was a dog bat. This is a bat dog. So this is more like the one you encountered in the sewer long ago that I think Lincoln adopted.
Oh. I don't think I was there for that game.
It's basically a big horse or pony-sized dog with a bat face and bat ears. Why don't the girls roll initiative real quick?
Okay.
Heyo. Why does Verity always roll shit on initiative? That's gonna be an 8.
17.
Kyrene, you get the first move. What do you want to do?
It's coming at me.
Mm-hmm. And you can
How far
see,
away?
so these guys, they had a couple torches on their cart, so you can at least see its silhouette coming at you.
Okay. How far away is it from me?
Right now, 30 feet.
30? Okay. I'm gonna shoot a dart at it.
Okay.
For my first attack, at least. 26 to hit?
Yep.
D4. That's 9 damage for the first attack. Do another dart. 19 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Another 9 damage.
Okay. Is this a blowgun?
It's just a dart.
You're just throwing darts?
Yeah.
The darts plunge deep into this dog. He yelps and he topples over, and you think that you must have hit whatever the anatomy is of this dog. You must have hit something kind of vital because he looks rough. The guy starts yelling something. Is there anything else you want to do?
Is he yelling it in like a different language, or I just can't understand him?
It just sounds, he's turning his head to his partner, and it's echoing through the sewer, and he says, "Okay."
Okay. No, that's all I can do.
So he starts charging towards you guys. He's going to pull out a long dagger, and I think he's just going to go after Mike because Mike is closer. Well, that's an 8, so
It was a good try.
yeah. The dog staggers to its feet and it runs away. Eric, what do you want to do? Or Mike, what do you want to do? This guy is
I'm gonna-
adjacent to you now. He takes a swing and a miss.
I'm gonna run away from him real quick.
That'll be an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, that's fine.
7. Another swing and a miss.
God damn, dude.
You
Yeah,
feel
and
his.
then
You feel the blade of his dagger kind of brush your outfit.
So then I set Reginald off to the side to make sure that he won't fall into the sewer water. And then I'm gonna cast Sleet Storm again, so that I get all of them, like the dog and the 2 people in it, and hopefully not my allies.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That's the ice floor again.
Yep,
Can you cast it away from yourself, or does it directly on you?
I have 150-foot range to place it.
So you just place it like what on the cart?
Pretty much. If that's gonna be, if
Whatever.
they're still within 40 feet of the cart, then yeah,
Whatever is going to put the ice floor right in front of you guys.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Exposed flames are doused.
Oh,
And if they start their turn or enter it, they have to make a dex save.
okay. Even if that's just if they're walking on it, right? It wouldn't make sense
Even
if
if
they're
it
up.
starts its turn on it.
So maybe the frost is covering the cart too,
Probably a little bit.
all the surfaces. So
Yeah.
I would imagine if it blows out their torches. You guys, so Verity and Kyrene, you hear this, and immediately the tunnel is just plunged into darkness, and you hear voices shouting, and you hear feet scampering, and the guy right in front of you, you hear him thud against the ground. You can hear him scrambling to get away, Verity. Is there anything you want to do? You can't see, but
Well, if they're holding torches, it shouldn't be.
they snuffed him out.
Oh,
I do have dark vision.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, you're fine. You can see this guy falls to the floor. He's trying to get away from you. And at this point, you can even see the guy way on the cart, and he's got the second dog. He's like untying it, and he's trying on the slippery floor to get him to the opposite side of the cart where you can see they could cinch him up and pull the other direction.
Okay, so Verity is going to just. Oh man. Alright, it's time to deal that shit ton of damage again. I'm just gonna go for an attack. That might not hit actually. That's gonna be an 18.
Yeah, that's a hit. Especially since he's down on the ground.
Okay. 13 damage.
Okay.
And then for my second attack, that's going to be a 19, which hits. 10 plus 7, 17.
Oh, yeah. What was the attack?
Greatsword.
Oh, you actually approached him. Okay, so you run up to this guy and you cleave him clean through, and he starts gurgling, and then you go vertically, come down on top of him, and you cut him in half. At this point, I mean, I'm just making shit up. If that goes against your character, you can whack him on the head if you want, but he's dead either way.
No, she just she's just killing. She just killed that guy. I mean, it doesn't matter. But she'll turn around and use her movement to just kind of like do the paladin, like just the strut towards the other guy.
The cart is now one doggedly hooked up. The other dog took off down the tunnel, so he's only got one dog to pull this thing. So, but it's also a man lighter, and he starts heading down the tunnel away from you guys. It's very slow going because the dog's struggling on this ice.
Okay.
So what's going to be like your final actions that you want to take for this episode? Do you plan on following this guy, confronting him, getting out of the sewer? What do you want to do to wrap it up?
Verity's planning on following to attack.
You're just gonna go attack the guy?
I'm gonna follow and jump in the cart to see where it goes.
Okay. You're gonna have to confer amongst each other because otherwise, Kyrene will be jumping in the cart and then Verity will kill the driver.
Alright, fine. She'll try to follow him.
It picks up speed as it gets some momentum despite the ice, and you guys follow it down the tunnel, and eventually, it starts to feel like this thing has a long destination ahead of it. Do you want to just follow it all the way?
Can I jump into it? Like inside it?
It's not big enough that he wouldn't notice it shaking if you try to jump up, unless you really do a good stealth check.
Do you want to do a stealth check?
It's up to you.
Yeah. 24 for stealth?
Jeez. Okay. You managed to climb up in the back of this thing. He is plunged in darkness because he hasn't bothered to light the torches yet since he's trying to get away from you guys. So, and he's also probably rattled. He does not notice. You're just riding?
Yeah, I'm gonna wave to the others. No, I made it in.
Okay. So, regardless of whether you guys follow this cart or jump in, it's probably like half an hour of riding through these tunnels before you guys get to this kind of dark underground looking laboratory. And as he pulls into this sort of garage area, and it's just you guys, there's no one else here, and he gets out and he unhooks his dog, and I think the dog is rattled too. He just leashes it and he takes it out and he goes up the stairs. And if you guys were to do any exploring, what you would find is that this laboratory is very similar to the one where you guys all got kidnapped, which is one of our previous episodes, and they were doing experimentations on you. And you guys would find that there are rooms full of mutants, just like last time. There's cages with people in them, just like last time. And so I think that you guys would be safe to explore because you came in here unknown, and then you can just freely leave because you already know, it's the sewers, so you would know how to get back to town.
I want to create the people.
Why don't you guys just do some rolls real quick?
Oh, okay. What kind of rolls?
Give me somebody who's good at stealth could do the stealth. Do any of you have the ability to do like lock picking or, things to bust locks open?
Well, we have someone who's super strong.
Yep. I mean, I could literally break a lock, but not the kind of lock that you're thinking of.
These are like metal padlocks.
Oh. Can I just try to break it?
You can try if you just want to hack it with something. Or smash
Sure.
it with something.
That's a 26 for stealth, by the way.
Okay. I'll let you blanket that for the group. That's impressive.
That's a, that's a 27 on the attack to break the lock.
Yeah, so Kyrene is able to scout this tunnel out, and you notice that there's no one in the vicinity because probably because they're all at the carnival working. And so the scientists in the labs are in some kind of noisier areas, and they're off in the distance. They probably won't hear. So you smash these locks, and the guard was probably the dog guy that was manning the cages. So he walked his dog somewhere else, and so you guys are able to rescue. Hold on. 2 people.
Oh.
There were only
Hooray.
there were only 2 people in these cages, but you get them out, and you're able to get them back home.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay!
So on the dice, I rolled an 18, and I have a +8 to stealth.
Okay, so Kyrene, you get an iguana. Verity got an action figure. And Mike got a dragon.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. You got prizes and you
Yay.
saved people.
Yay!
And
oh,
you
day's work.
All right, we're calling that the episode. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye!
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.